Happy day to everyone. Hello, hello. I am your women's empowerment coach and life strategist, Shanita, Coach Nita. For those of you who follow me, get a little comfortable in what you call me. I wanted to come on just to kind of tell you guys a little bit about me, why I have chosen to answer my calling to be a life coach, what it is that I um, provide, and to talk about my mastermind that is coming up in October that's called um, A Change Perception. I'm sorry, because I have so many trainings and classes and things like that. So it's called Change Perception, and it comes from the material that I put into this workbook that I created called The Way We View Ourselves. So we'll get into that in a second. Um, I thought it was significant that I come on and I provide some insight into me and why it is that I decided to answer the call to coach. There are lots of life coaches out here. Of course, you all are well aware that there are many. There are many people telling you that they can help you fix your life. They can help you get clarity. They can help you get focused around the things that you need help with. They can help you navigate towards your purpose and come up with a life plan and strategy that'll help you maintain happiness and all of those different things. The purpose for my business, purposefully becoming, it's always a mouthful. The purpose behind my business is really to ensure that I help women identify the things from their past, any pains, any hurts, anything that they experienced that created and caused any type of trauma, any of those things, to help identify what those are, eliminate them, and begin to move towards things that will help them navigate towards purpose. And by that I mean choosing self, implementing techniques and tactics that will, for the most part, sustain you, self-care, self-love, those different types of things, so that you don't feel like you're doing something wrong by making sure that you are okay. And the reason why I feel like that's definitely where I niche down in is because I too was in a position in my life where I really did not know who I was. I was living for everyone else. My happiness came through friendships, relationships, things that I had achieved, things that I had accomplished. I thought at one point in my life I had arrived. I had the big house, the nice car, everything seemed good. I had the man I thought I was supposed to have, I had this great child who was smart, and so I felt sort of complete in those things until one day all of those things were gone. I suffered extreme heartbreak at the hands of the man that I thought I was going to be with for the rest of my life. I had to sell my home. I had another child that I had to end up being a single mother to again. So this was my second time around. Finances went haywire. And this is after having everything I thought I was supposed to have, being everything I thought I was supposed to be. And I realized in those moments I was really being defined by the things that really were not who I was. God allows you to have certain things in your life, and He allows you to experience certain things, but that does not mean that you were called to it or that you're purpose for it. It just means that you were able to have it and experience it at that particular time in your life. When all of those things were gone and my back was against the wall, I realized in those moments that, okay, Shanita, you don't know who you are. And all those things you had that gave you happiness was not internal. That was not a happiness that you have for the rest of your life. It was a happiness that came through material things and other people. So I had to learn the process of providing myself with the type of love and happiness that I could have without anything, even if I never got any of those things back. I had to learn the process of getting to that space. So once I took myself through that process, I realized that all those years ago when God said to coach before, and I was like, nah, ain't no way. Ain't nobody gonna listen to me. Ain't nobody gonna listen. My life is a mess, and stuff is a mess, and everything is a mess, and I'm a mess, and I ain't gonna be able to tell nobody nothing. They ain't gonna listen to me. In those moments, and when I finally decided to answer the call, I realized that everything that I experienced, everything I had done, even in the highs and the lows of life, all of those learning experiences were for me to share. They weren't for me to keep to myself. And the process of rebuilding me and really finding that internal happiness, that absolute peace that cannot be disrupted even when life is chaotic, right? All of those things, all of those steps, that whole process, that is what I had to bottle up to share with those who may never have been able to find the one thing that helped them get on the right track. And for me, that happened to be my daughter. She happened to make me see that, okay, wait a minute. You might have pretended that you was kind of dope back in the day, but now you really know you dope, right? You really know who you are as a person. And sometimes it takes things, really big, major things, to make you come to that place. So I have bottled those things from my journey and all of those things that I know you need to get to that space where you need to heal from broken relationships, even starting back as far as my parents. I went through so many different things with them that shaped who I was as a woman, and I didn't even realize how much of an impact that my relationships with them had. The abandonment issues and the neglect and not having the things that I needed, and how much those things drove me to be the woman that I am, the mother that I am, the friend that I am, the person that I am in the workplace, and now the businesswoman that I am, and just overall the person that I am to myself. So for those who ever wonder, what it is that called me to this field, God called me. God called me so long ago, and He called me through my life experiences. He allowed me to experience things and go through things that built me up into this person that is able to share and able to help other women figure those things out that have sometimes falsely shaped who they are as women, that has sometimes falsely given them a perception that they've arrived and they're who they have been called to be. Because sometimes we get to a place where we realize none of those things, none of those accomplished, none of those degrees, none of those things that we've gone out here and gotten, none of these stocks and bonds, none of these homes, none of this stuff is important if the inside of you is not together. If you don't understand the significance of loving yourself, caring for yourself, treating yourself the way you deserve to be treated, making sure you put yourself first, making sure self-care is a priority, making sure you always have peace, making sure you cut off toxicity from your life, making sure that you disconnect from things that no longer serve you and not hold on to things that bring pain and confusion and frustration to your life. You've got to get to that place where you understand that I have to make sure I preserve for me. And I know you always hear, oh, I can't pour from an empty cup. I got to make sure I'm full. And it sounds also cliche, but it's real. You put things in a cup and you pour it out and you're pouring out. And I've been this person. I poured so much into things. And then when all of those things were gone, I was empty. I was left empty. I was empty because I had not put into myself the things that I need to put into myself for me. So here I am, an open book for all the women who enter into my programs, who come into contact with me. This is my life's calling. I am here to serve, and that is what God has charged me to do, and that is what I'm going to do. So hopefully that opens me up a bit more to the people who follow me to understand what qualifies me. What makes me passionate about getting online and creating content and doing all the things that I do for the women that I want to serve and the women that I want to attract to me so that I can help them break through those barriers that they are experiencing in their lives from things they may not even know create those issues for them. So to get to the actual mastermind that's coming up in October, the mastermind is different from a coaching program, because in a coaching program you come to me with anything that you want to work through that you are ready to tackle because you no longer want it to be an issue for you in your life. Something that has bogged you down and stopped you from being able to move forward in your life purposefully and intentionally so that you can be showing up in the world as the woman that God has called you to be. So the mastermind is a part of the staple initiative within Purposefully Becoming, and that is to change the way that you view yourself. And you heard some of that in the beginning of this video, right? That I was viewing myself as a person who had everything because she had more than what she grew up with. That she had filled her space with all these things that looked like success for her and looked like she was a complete person because she had done it, because those were the things that were defined by her fictitiously and defined by the standards of society, right? But those perceptions of myself were not built on fact. And the mastermind is really around, and the staple program in Purposeful Becoming is to really look at what is creating the way you look at yourself as a person. Because when you're not looking at yourself in truth, and you're not looking at yourself as who you actually are as a person, and the falsehoods begin to be the building blocks of how you see yourself as an individual, you become stagnant in life. You can't grow off of falsehoods. You can't grow off of things that are not factual. You can't move forward in life not knowing who you are and whose you are and what you're supposed to be doing, and the things that you have allowed to hold you back that you may even subconsciously not realize that you have allowed to hold you back, right? So in that being said, the way we view ourselves is 6 weeks of reprogramming your mind and allowing you the opportunity to truly look introspectively at yourself and determine what is it that is stopping me, and anything that is not true about me that I have allowed myself to believe and live with and take on. I want to discard all those things because those things aren't letting me be my greatest self. They're not letting me live my best life, right? So that is why this mastermind is so important to me. And actually, it's funny. I created this workbook at the beginning when I first established my company. And I came out with it so fast. It was so quick, and and some of you already have the old one. But I went back and I redid a lot of the way that this looks, a lot of the verbiage. I took my actual time with it so that it could actually be a book that you can get into and really do some actual work. So just some pages. There's some also, for those who follow me, you know that I have a positive affirmation journal on Amazon right now. I've mimicked journal pages within this as well to mimic what the affirmations journal look like without the affirmations, just because this is a workbook. But there are also journaling pages in here along with those questions that you can kind of write down anything that may come to you while you're taking the steps through these introspective places. There are some good quotes in here because I'm a quotes girl. I love good quotes, as y'all can see. I love good quotes. I have a mirror full of them, and it's just really a good place to start, and a good place to really do the work that needs to be done inside of you to make sure that you are really getting what you need to get jump started back into a life, or even the beginning stages of getting into a life that you're deserving of living. So this is very significant to me, very important to me, and I put 100% of myself in this and into the program for those who are interested in becoming a part of that mastermind. So it's 6 weeks. You get 1 live hour training every week where it's very interactive. Because I'm a coach, of course, most of it is kind of question based, where you have to really do the work yourself, and I facilitate those things for you. So that's that. The workbook is $25 and will be available on Amazon very soon. I just want to do a few more things, but for anyone who registers for the mastermind, this workbook is included in the cost of the course. So the course is $350. And you, of course, you'll get the 6 weeks of the 6 1-hour trainings live. You get complete access to me, and you get this workbook, of course, and you get to connect with other like-minded women who are too also seeking completion, internal completion, that they don't need external things outside of them to create wholeness. And that is everything that I'm looking to do. I'm looking to do all of those things. So if you have any questions, put them below in the comments and I will respond to you. I'm very responsive. Get on the mailing list if you want information on purposefully becoming. I'm sorry, y'all. It's always a mouthful. If you want information on purposefully becoming, the newsletter comes out every month, and then there are periodic emails every now and then with new announcements, activities, different things that are coming up. So there are lots of new things coming for purposefully becoming, lots of new things. I'm excited about some collaborations with some other coaches, and also a women's wellness workshop that I'm putting together for January for myself, and maybe have a coach or two come and present some information for the women who attend. The mastermind is going to be limited. I'm only going to take a certain amount of women, specifically because I want women to be able to have access to me. I don't want it to be overwhelming or too much for them or me. And then I want to be able to have a session with each one of those women as well, one session within that 6 weeks, to kind of talk through some of the things that are barriers and blockers for them. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful information about the mastermind. I will post the link here in the video when I post, and please share it out with a friend. I'm hoping that you all will be excited as I am, and you register, because I am telling you now, registration will fill up, and then I will have to put you in the rotation for the next round, because this will be a staple program for anyone who wants to enter into coaching with me. I want you to be able to have this workbook, and I want you to be able to work through these things, because once you can walk in your truth and you know who you are, you can conquer anything. You can conquer anything. So be blessed.